how much you work hands-on with the receiver room, because I know you're not a micromanager and no coordinator or head coach wants to be a micromanager, but you have a history, obviously, knowing how to develop with your staffs. So, like, what's that been like now that you've got a year and a half or whatever it's been under your belt with this room? Because it sounds like the room's coming along.
They're doing a really good job. And they're starting to, one thing happened today is something that happened in Michigan State to Seth Anderson. He was trying to do what I told him, but the guy overplayed it, and instead of forcing yourself out of the play, there's a way to get back in the play quick. And he did it in our 2-minute drill today. He undercut him, got himself open. I wish my quarterback would have thrown it to him. I went and hugged him after the play. We just threw an incompletion. Everyone's like, why is Coach hugging that guy? Because it was a great job by Seth Anderson. So they're really coming along. They're starting to understand how to play wideout. I would say we don't run lines on a page. Now, we hand you a page that has lines on it. But, like, depending on coverage, like, that route might not look like that ink right there that I showed you. You might have to stem it outside. You might have to stem at him and then push it up and then cross his face. And so they're really starting to understand how to loosely go out there and play fast and play and go make plays. And we have 4 seniors in that room. And you got Reese coming along. And so there's a lot of competition. And, we had a big scrimmage Wednesday night under the lights, and it was back and forth now. I mean, there were some huge hits on defense. We had some long plays on offense. It was the closest thing to a game as I've ever been at a practice.
Who hit the big plays other than Reese? Saw that on social
Reese
media.
hit a big one. KJ Parker hit a big one. Addy scored a touchdown. One more. What was the other one? Might have been a reverse. I forget. But they're all popping up different people.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the catch on the sideline. That was Weege. And then I'm like, well, Sam had that one. And then, of course, over the top there was Reese. And then we had a 3rd down, 2-minute drill through route over the middle. That was Jacob Gill. So there's just so many of them, right? So it's good to see who separates themselves here in the next couple of weeks. It's great to be able to rotate. If someone gets hurt or struggling, we can put the other guy in. Coach Bud has done an unbelievable job in that room, and the kids have worked really hard because they're starting to see it come to fruition, and things that I said last year that are starting to show. And we always watch film together. We're always talking through the different coverages and what to do. And so it's been good. We got a long way to go, but we're excited about where it's at.
I know Coach Don Patterson said a little contact with you since you got the job here. And, him and I talk a lot, and he's consistently, when he talks about receiver play, in his experience, he says size is overrated.
Sure.
Everyone's a big, long receiver with big hands. So you have gotten, we talked about this a year ago.
Yeah.
You got these guys from Western Michigan that are 5'10" or under.
Yep.
Sam Phillips, fits that.
Weege, Jacob, Seth might be. He's tall at 5'10".
How tall is KJ?
5'10".
Yeah. So what's the trick? You're not targeting small guys, but you're just looking for guys with speed. And then what are the other?
I would like 6'2" and 4 and super fast.
But you prefer speed over.
You have to have speed. Like, if you don't have that, it doesn't matter, right? So obviously you'd love the size speed combination if you can get it. I remember when I got here last year, just talking about that combination. Caleb Johnson, like, when I got calls from the Green Bay Packers and NFL guys, like, even in the NFL, I hadn't seen a size speed combination like that, really. And obviously he had an unbelievable year at running back,
Right.
But the size speed as a wideout, if you're 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot, if you're 6'4", great, but you got to be able to run, and these kids, they all can run, they all can separate. They're learning how to play more physical. Little guys have a tendency to run around things, and then they get in the weight room and meet Ray and put some muscle on, and they realize you.
75% of consumers prefer to connect with their favorite brand.
Physical too, you know, and so it's been. And then they watch guys like Cooper Kupp, have a ton of success. Jaden Reed, who played for me at Western up in Green Bay, have success in this offense. You watch them run the same routes, how they're stemming it, how they're doing it, and so it's fun. Like, all these guys they've been watching NFL football. Because when I got here and I said, who watches NFL football? And no one rose their hand in the room. Like, they just weren't very interested in it. They like college football, and they hadn't really watched a ton of it. And now they watch it because they know what's going on, and they understand the formations, the shifts. Some of the times it's the same play we run. Yeah. And I get texts. The Chiefs ran one of our plays to close out the Bills on the 3rd down, 3rd and 9. They ran the Cowboy play into man, and the amount of texts I got were like, "Oh my God, Cowboy for the win!" They got the kneel on the ball, game is over. So they're just starting to like football more and understand it. I think when you understand what you're watching, you're more interested in it, right?
Yeah.
So all the wideouts and tight ends included are just more interested in football now. And so it's fun. We got a long way to go, but it's been a good start, and they've really grown just because of the work they put in.
And Kirk made some eye-opening remarks at Big Ten Media Days about the wide receiver room. He compared it to where he felt the O-line was a year ago at this time.
Yeah.
But I kind of like, well, I want to hear that from Coach
Yeah.
Lester. So you tell me, where's the development overall? Where would you
I don't know, like to compare it to anything. I mean, I just think it's where I want it to be, right? It's where I wanted it to be last year. You know, it's just you can't. I mean, it wasn't happening fast enough last year. Seth was hurt. You know, Dayton was younger. Obviously, Sam wasn't here. Weege was trying to be a punt returner for the first time and not really understanding how to run routes, you know, and using his speed as a weapon. You can't just run full speed all the time on a route, or your cuts are going to be just, you can count it. They're going to round everything. There's going to be nothing sharp about it, you know. So understanding how to use your speed and change your speed, which anyone who's watching punt return, he can change his speed better than anybody. If he learns how to use that, he can be one heck of a player. He's not a finished product yet, but he's doing a really good job. And it's really helping to stretch the field, which opens up things underneath, and it all ties together, you know. So I'm really excited where they're at. We got to keep it consistent, you know, and they're blocking still, which I'm proud of, which is what I needed to get them to do last year. And now we're able to do a couple more things in the offense because of what they're doing.